Okay, well, the fact that Edmonton even had a chance to get a second point tonight, considering the circumstances with the injuries to their top players and their starting goaltender, I consider that a positive on a night where, it would have been nice to see Edmonton get the 2 points. Overall, just my raw reaction to this game, I thought Edmonton played a real strong game. They had a couple defensive breakdowns that led to goals against. You would have liked a couple more saves from Stu Skinner. You would have liked a save from Pickard in overtime. Probably would have wanted some better puck management from Darnell Nurse as well. But the fact that this team played that well against Winnipeg, only held them to 20 shots, 19 in regulation, is encouraging. Just based on the fact how Edmonton, was able to play in all three zones tonight. They kept Winnipeg to the outside a lot. It was a low event game. Chris Knobloch, that's his style. He likes his low event. But it kind of sucks because the thing that we want to talk about and that we're all concerned for is obviously the health of Connor McDavid, who went down at the end of the second period. He took a cross check from Josh Morrissey into the wrist or rib area. I don't want to speculate which part of McDavid's body was hit. They announced it was lower body, so I don't know if they consider a hand lower body, if they consider a rib lower body. I don't know. I don't know how the NHL considers this stuff because they're so vague with injuries, which is fine. But obviously, McDavid was unable to return in the third period to play for the Oilers, and that is incredibly concerning because they also started this game without Leon Draisaitl, who is dealing with something. He is day-to-day. He kind of tweaked his leg, knee, ankle, whatever the case is. Draisaitl was out, and then Stuart Skinner late in the third period, he's run over by Velarde, kind of taken in by the Oilers defender into Stu. Stu went down. There was a little bit of head contact. Didn't look like a whole lot, but I think the concussion spotter pulled Stuart Skinner out of the game as well. And Calvin Pickard goes in, and it's really tough to ask a guy coming in cold with 5 minutes left to get the win for you. Would have liked to save in overtime, but I would have liked a better decision with the puck from Darnell Nurse because the Oilers had full possession. Nurse rimmed it down low to nobody. I don't know if he thought Arvidsson was going to be down there or Jake Wallman, but Chris Knobloch, I just have one comment I want to make. On a night where I thought the Oilers played very well and they likely deserved the second point, in my opinion, Chris Knobloch had a guy who had 2 goals on the night, and Jeff Skinner was giving him that opportunity, and we did not see Jeff Skinner in overtime, either on the opening shift or the second shift. They had 2 defensemen out there. I'm not sure what the logic was. Usually you play your 2 forwards, 1 defenseman. I feel like Chris Knobloch was playing not to lose rather than playing to win in that overtime. That's the only knock on Chris, though, because overall, the way he was able to manage his lineup, especially being down your top 2 centers, your top 2 players in the entire world, and then your starting goaltender also going down in the third. The fact that the Oilers got a point, huge gutsy performance from Edmonton. That is really, really great. And if there's also some good news to come out of this too, the Oilers, they're off tomorrow, and then they play Seattle Saturday, and then they're off for 3 days. So they only play 2 games in their next 6 days or something. That's a good sign in terms of if you want to rest, if McDavid's not 100%, if he's not obviously super injured, like if he could play Saturday, but you'd rather him stay out, you can afford that against Seattle. Same with Draisaitl. Give these guys some extra days off if you have to before the grind and crunch of the regular season hits at the end of March into April. There's a lot of games. There's a couple more double headers coming up, or back-to-backs, I should say. Double headers. Can you imagine playing 2 games in one day? Yikes, like baseball. But we're going to take a look at some of the stats. I'm not doing questions from the fans tonight, just because I think most of the questions would have been with regards to the injuries to top Oilers players, and I just don't like speculating on what the issues could be. Obviously, we have our ideas, but we'll take a look at some of the stats, giving my general views of everything, and then we'll call it a day. So please make sure to just smash the like button on tonight's video. Smash the like button to send all your good energy to McDavid, to Stuart Skinner, to Leon Draisaitl, and anyone else that might be dealing with something on the Oilers, because we know Zach Hyman still probably not 100%. Matthias Ekholm still probably not 100%. But let's take a look at some of the stats here. The deserve to win a meter on Money Puck. Now, Winnipeg did win. The Oilers had a slight advantage in the deserve to win-o meter. And if we scroll all the way down, the expected goals in all situations tonight, the Oilers barely led the way, 2.47 to 2.26. It was a very evenly matched game. Both teams had their chances. They were opportunistic. Loved seeing that goal from Zach Hyman. I like the idea of just put a puck through traffic and have bodies in front. I've been trying to preach that for a while now. The Oilers try an overpass, and then Hyman had that great opportunity in overtime as well. With the one-timer, he wasn't able to connect and score, but overall a solid performance. Max Jones, bottom of the team in expected goals for percentage tonight. Evan Bouchard had a very tough night for the Oilers, and I thought Darnell Nurse also had a tough night. I don't even know where Nurse is on here. Here he is. He's just below 50%. But it was just some of the decision making with Darnell Nurse. It wasn't necessarily always his positioning. It was just some of the decision making either with the puck or where he is on the ice. He made a poorly timed pinch on Winnipeg's first goal, I believe, or second goal, and then in overtime as well, but we're not going to get into it too much. And then if we scroll down here, we'll take a look at who led the way in ice time for Edmonton. Time on ice, Darnell Nurse led the way next to Ekholm, then Kulak, Bouchard, Wallman, your 5 defensemen. No forwards over 20 minutes tonight. Zach Hyman was the number 1 forward for Edmonton. Nugent Hopkins, he had 6 points in his last 2 games coming into tonight. He did not get on the score sheet. I thought Nugent Hopkins played a solid game. Adam Henrique played 17-21. Jeff Skinner, 17-06. I'm just surprised that even in a game where you're down 2 forwards, he has 2 goals in the game. Why are we not maybe trying to double shift him? I thought Jeff Skinner was looking terrific tonight. He's been all over it. The fact Matthias Janmark played almost as much as Jeff Skinner is crazy to me. Kasperi Kapanen played 10-40. Corey Perry only 9-11. Max Jones only 8-21. It's clear Chris Knobloch does not trust Max Jones at all in this lineup. And if we look at Stuart Skinner, goals saved above expected, almost a -1. Same with Calvin Pickard, almost a -1 on the night. Combined, -1.7 goals saved above expected, which is unfortunate, but that's just how it rolls sometimes. That's just the way the cookie crumbles, I suppose. Darnell Nurse did have 2 assists, so I got to give credit there. Wallman with an assist on the game-tying goal from Zach Hyman. Yeah, those are kind of the stats. We can kind of go through the Edge visualizer. I did want to take a look at Jeff Skinner's first goal. It was an absolute snipe by Skinner, and the Oilers did a good job in the neutral zone. Nice job by Stetcher to cut off that pass, and then on transition, Jeff Skinner walks in. The 2 defenders on Winnipeg give him the middle of the ice. He takes it. He absolutely snipes one's past Connor Hellebuck. Now, if that goal had gone in on Stuart Skinner, I think Oilers fans would have absolutely lost their minds. It was a great shot by Skinner. I think Hellebuck would have liked to have that one back. Same with Jeff Skinner's second of the night. Wasn't sure if it was McDavid's goal. It did kind of go off a jet, and Jeff Skinner was kind of swinging his stick at it. They did award Skinner with the goal. It went through Hellebuck's pads. Zach Hyman, he made contact with Hellebuck. I didn't think that goal was going to count personally. So Jets fans, if you're tuning in, I did not think that goal was going to count. I did not think it should count based on precedent that has been set around the NHL already, especially against the Oilers. The Oilers usually don't come out on top in those situations. Now, Zach Hyman was pushed into Hellebuck. So I think that's the logic that the officials made. He's pushed in. I get it. My logic and reasoning why I didn't think, and it's not that I didn't want it to count, I just didn't think it would. My logic was Hyman went into the crease unimpeded before he was pushed into Hellebuck. And I thought maybe they would consider that. It kind of looked like he was making contact with Hellebuck's stick, but I couldn't really tell. In any case, it went in favor of Edmonton, which was fine. But the Oilers, of course, they were not able to hold on to that lead. They had a power play, and then Darnell Nurse right here just couldn't get the puck in deep, and then Winnipeg attacks on transition. Nurse does not get back in time, and then it's put in front. Skinner, his lateral movement, we've been talking about it all season. Don't want to overthink that one. Brandon Tanev, he gets the go-ahead goal for Winnipeg as well. It was a scramble in front, and there's a couple players who are just puck watching, standing around. One of them is Evan Bouchard, who is, he's not taking anyone here. Brandon Tanev, he hit the post, he celebrated, thought it was in, it wasn't, and then he put his own rebound in. It was the first goal for Winnipeg. I also want to show Cole Perfetti's goal on the rebound that was given up by Stu. This rebound I did not enjoy, and I didn't like what Wallman and Hyman did on this goal against either. Nurse is coming back. He's protecting the middle of the ice. Now he's coming across to force either a shot wide or force number 54 to go around the net. So this is a good play from Nurse. And this shot is not hard on Stuart Skinner. This is a weak shot, and the rebound pops out. But Wallman continues to just... I don't know what Wallman's doing. He's just coming into the crease to say hi to Stuart Skinner and Zach Hyman. He is nowhere near where he should be over on the right side of the ice. And nice job by Perfetti to put that in there. But it was the goal in overtime that they didn't show it. Darnell Nurse, he tried to put the puck in down low. They didn't show it on the visualizer here. Wallman goes for a change. Bouchard comes out. Morrissey, he gives it over, and then it comes to Connor, and then Connor shoots it. Not sure what Nurse is doing with Pickard here. I don't know if he made contact with Pickard. The way Pickard reacted, it was like his arm was hit or something. I don't know if Nurse actually made contact. I don't think so. I think it was just a whiff. I think Calvin Pickard just whiffed on it. In any case, that's the post-game fan reaction. A little bit different this time. Didn't take questions from the fans. I do apologize. I also apologize for no live stream. Trying to get my internet sorted so it's good enough for me to live stream. It's just one of those things where TELUS has said that they're gonna eventually put fiber in my area, but right now I don't have it. So every now and then, the internet is just not great here. So I do apologize for that. We will be back. If not tomorrow, I will have a pregame report on Saturday before the Seattle game. And then, of course, after the game against Seattle, the post-game fan reaction. So thank you all for tuning in. Let's hope McDavid is okay. Let's hope Draisaitl is okay. And let's see if the Oilers are able to continue to pile up some points here and maintain their positioning over the LA Kings and maybe even push towards Vegas. But right now, number one focus is on the health of Edmonton's best players. And even if they weren't their best players, the health of this team in general is very important. This team has dealt with a lot of injuries this season. Last year, they were very healthy. This year, not so much. There's a lot of adversity going on with the health of the team. I'd rather this team lose their games in March and early April than, resting guys than going to the playoffs and losing round one because you're all banged up. We'll see how it turns out. Tell someone that you love them. And as always, fight like a kid, fight like Ben. Let's go Oilers. We'll see you in the next one.